Was goody team, was goody team, great rising. Hope everyone is having a great day so far. Just gonna give everybody a few minutes to join. Yo.
Yo,
Wake up, man.
I'm up.
Fuck.
Goddamn monkey, man! I text you earlier, but you didn't text me back.
You,
See,
you,
so
you
you
text
went to
me at
sleep.
3 in the morning talking about join cord. Hell no.
5 in the morning. Let's talk about sex, baby. Let's
What
talk
the?
about
Man.
hot breath.
It's a little bit. It's been like 3 days that I haven't brushed my teeth.
God damn, yuck mouth.
My bad, man. Takes up too much
It's
time out of my day.
your shit contaminated,
It's probably why she don't want to be around me for that long.
man.
She's like, damn, this dude breath stank. Kind of want to wait for Albert before I talk about gold, cause his question about the engulfing candle, this would be a good learning moment for him. Let's go look at the other pairs real quick. It's 5 o'clock in the morning, and then she's on it. EU, I'm not gonna trade it. EU could be a good one to keep an eye out for. Man,
Wake up, man.
can't, bro. Couldn't sleep last night. He kept texting me. GU could be a good one. There,
Hey,
there.
so I know how you said for that high of day, low of day thing, it's only for Fridays.
What do you mean? What are you talking about?
For the high of day, low of day thing, like price at the high of day, price could either um reverse or
Or just
I forgot.
consolidate?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not really
Yeah.
only for Friday. It's good to keep an eye on that no matter what day it is. But when it
Mm-hmm.
comes to Fridays is usually the day where that would happen. That behavior would happen on some pairs, on most of the pairs. Where if price already made a high of the day, let's say during Asia or London, and then during the NYC price comes back to that, I'll give you an example. Which pair gave us a 372? It was EAGA. Which one was it?
GA, but that shit was going downtrend.
No, there was a pair I saw that I was talking about yesterday that the pullback was too steep. That I'm not expecting. It gave us a 4th day variation. What pair was that?
Oh,
GCAD.
GCAD, yeah.
Okay, so to give you the example, right? We know that on 372 days, that 372 days are different, yo. Because 372s, we know that all it has to do is go back to the highs, right? It just has to give us a new high. So that's not a good example. Um, on Fridays, whenever price, let's say you're in a trade on a Friday, right? And it's a continuation to continue the push to the top side. On Fridays, price is more likely to just tap into the highs that were already made for the day and either just consolidate or go down. Now that could happen on any other day, but Fridays is usually where that happens.
Okay.
Good morning, Jessica. Great rising, great rising.
So I mean, like, you would not have waited until SGP got hit for that DJ trade, right?
For GJ, let's see, for today.
Yeah,
Um,
the, I sent you earlier.
no, I would have waited for STP because you already have 3 days of rise, right? What I would have done is just, price came back to the highs, right? Especially on the lower time frame, it just came back to the lower time frame highs, right? It gave you the
Mm-hmm.
rejection and gave you the entry up here. Once price goes down to these lows, right? Like, what's STP for the day for GJ?
70 pips.
Right? Once price gets down to these lows, this is just an area where I would have to babysit the trade, right? And start looking at the candlesticks on the lower time frame to really just see if the trend is going to continue or if price wants to give us exhaustion candles, whatever the case is, right? And in this case, on the 5 minute, 1 minute, we were still lower low, lower high, lower low, lower high. Even though price gave us an exhaustion candle, everything was already still downtrending, right? You had the 50 below the 200, you were still following the trend, right? Once that lower high was made, price just continued and give you the lower low and right into STP, right? It's just one of those things where, again, GJ is a big pair. 16 pips is 16 pips, but this would be a time where you would just have to be like, all right, do I just get out of the trade early? Secure what I already did and get out of the trade early, or do I just continue to wait for the trend? But again,
All
this one
right.
already gave you that confirmation because you had that cross. So,
Cross of the EMX.
right. So at this point, you already know, like, okay, cool, I could at least put my stop loss above the previous lower high, right? Because the most that price is going to give you that pullback to is going to be towards the EMAs, right? To then continue go down.
All right. All right.
So
Okay.
specifically for this one, how it was lined up and all the other confirmations that you had, yeah, I would have held for STP for this one, for sure.
Okay. 6.5 pip stop loss for 43 pip TP.
You rich.
Not bad. Not bad.
Mr. Albert, Great Rising, the man of the hour. Waiting for you to join, man, so we could go over this engulfing candle. So, what specific question do you have for the engulfing candle? Is it just the retest, how to place it, right? Because I'll give you the example on gold since it printed an engulfing candle on the 5 minute, right? Again, this is a bearish engulfing candle. You have two green candles and then the red candle that closed below the body of the first green candle. So where I'm placing my box, right, my engulfing box, where I'm looking at is the bottom of the box is going to go to the bottom of the first green candle's body, right, and the top of it is going to go at the top of the wick of the second green candle, right? So when I'm looking for the retest, I'm just looking for a retest of the body of the candle, right? So an entry for this one, for an example, would be on the retest. Stop loss would be above, right? The would be above the green candle's wick, and then my take profit would be, whatever STP is or whatever, at this point we have a gap and we have STP super close, right? So this would be how that would look. Now, is this a position that I'm in currently? No. Why? Because we're still uptrending, right? We're still making higher highs and higher lows. You had higher high, higher low, higher high, higher low, right? Then price gave us the higher high. And in this higher high, on the lower time frame, what is price doing? Moving sideways, right? So is this a high probability area to take a trade? No, because price still hasn't given us a break. Price is still just in the zone of consolidation. So this is an area where we could expect price to just continue to trap traders in this area. Can we go over the setup? I mean, there's really no setup here for like an entry model. This is me just pretty much answering the question that you had yesterday, or that you've had for a little bit, when it comes to the retest of the engulfing candle, right? In specific for this one, there is no setup because again, this is a bearish engulfing candle when price is still giving us higher highs and higher lows, right? And on top of the fact that we're still making higher highs and higher lows, we're also in a zone of consolidation on a lower time frame where price is just rejecting highs, rejecting lows, highs, lows, highs, going back to the middle, moving sideways, going back to the highs, rejecting the highs, going back to the lows. So in specific, there is no setup to really talk about. I'm just more going over how you would mark up your engulfing candles if you were to look for one, right? Where to place your boxes, where to get your entry, where to place your stop loss. Let me know if that made sense. Oh, my bad. I didn't read the whole message because it was blocked by the thing on the chat. I got you. Let me know whenever you're ready. Oh shit! I just almost dropped my phone. I got you, Albert. What questions did you have in specific, or do you just want me to repeat what I said? Let me know whenever you're good. That's my bad. Let me know what questions in specific do you have about the engulfing candles. Yo, Kendall,
Yo.
what are you gonna get me for Valentine's Day, man?
Mm, a chocolate D.
All right, bro. Yo, the jerseys came out fire.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna send it to you now. He posted a video yesterday about for with it.
I'm aware in New York.
Oh yeah? You gotta take a picture with the bull. Hell yeah. Rub his balls.
What the bro?
Dude, I'm telling you that's good luck.
Huh?
It's good luck.
What?
Rubbing the bull's balls.
Repping the Bulls balls. Are you talking about the stock market one?
Nah, bro, I'm talking about the one that you're gonna go look at in Buffalo.
Yo, where the fuck did this snow come from?
Go look at the text I just sent you.
Yeah, I gotta download TikTok.
Fuck, dude. No way. Hold on, I'll just download the video if I can. Hold on.
Wait, huh?
I'll just download the video and I'll send it to you. Fucking
No,
video.
you don't want it, man.
No, you don't want it. Fucking up at 3 in the morning and shit. You said check Discord. I got you. You said I wanted to know the case you turned the stream like this got the retest the engulfing and when to identify a valid
Where
retest.
did this snow come from, bro?
When going through the charts on engulfing candles, I tend to see price wicking the candle, thus printing exhaustion candles at the bottom line of the candle. The body of the retest candle touches the engulfing candle does not break below the engulfing candle. Okay. I'm gonna just put this at the bottom of the chat. Um,
Zombie.
okay, yeah, cool. That was the same one I was reading. Okay. Yeah, so retest of the engulfing candle when to identify a valid retest. So let's start with that one. So I think the question moreover should be how to identify a how to identify the high probability engulfing candles, right? Because like what I was saying yesterday, and like I've said in the previous streams. Hold on, let me see. 1 second. Right. Um, the market is always going to print engulfing candles, bearish or bullish. The market's always the same way the market's always gonna print double bottoms and double tops. The same way the market is always gonna print, what people would call flag post patterns or harmonic patterns or fair value gaps or order blocks, whatever the case is, right? The market is printing hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of those confirmations every single day, right? You as the trader, you have to be able to identify which ones are the real moves and which ones are the inducements, right? Which ones are the real moves versus the fake moves, right? You got to be able to identify when the market makers are trapping traders and when the market makers are giving you a real move, right? That's the first step. Once you identify the engulfing candle, right? It's really simple. It's like yesterday's trade, right? Once you identify the valid setup, in this case, the setup is going to be the engulfing candle, which again here on the 5-minute time frame it's two green candles and then the red candle, right? Each candle, the green candles and the red candles, they all need to have top and bottom wicks, right? And then in this case, for a bearish engulfing candle, the red candle that prints needs to print below the body of the first green candle. Once you identify that, where you're looking for the retest, and again, the reason I put the box is because it makes it a little bit easier, right? You're able to see the bottom where the retest wants to happen, and you're able to see the top where you're supposed to put your stop loss, right? So the bottom of the box, which is where the retest is going to happen, goes at the bottom of the first green candle's body, and then the top of the box goes above the green candle's wick, the second green candle's wick, which is again where you're supposed to put your stop loss. Now, when you're looking for the retest, for a lot of the pairs, I'll say 95% of the time, all you're looking for is just a retest of the area. This gets easier, a retest gets easier if you already have a change of character and a break of structure, and that break of structure retest goes into the retest of the engulfing candle, but sometimes you might not have that, right? Sometimes an engulfing candle would print very aggressively, how it's happening here on gold, where we don't have a change of character or a break of structure. All we have is a zone of consolidation, which is again going back to what I was saying earlier. This is the reason why for this pair and for this trade specifically today, this is a very low probability trade because you're getting into a trade, right? You're getting into a position. And let me just mark this up here so we can have it on the screen, right? We're getting into a position when price is just moving sideways, right? Now, why does that matter? Because again, what is the definition of a zone of consolidation? And I'll let you answer that in the chat, or anybody in the chat who knows the answer to that question. What is a zone of consolidation? We talk about this every single day on the stream. I say this definition almost every single day.
An area of the market where the market makers are trapping and inducing traders.
I didn't even hear you, bro. You sound like you're underwater.
Oh, that.
But give Albert a little bit, bro. I know you know it. Shut up.
I'm still a student, man.
Let me know if you know the answer to that question, Albert. What is a zone of consolidation? What's the definition of the zone of consolidation? Jessica says a ranging market. Okay. You're not wrong, but that's not the answer that I'm looking for. The reason why is because a ranging market is just another way of saying sideways movement, right? A lot of traders, their verbiage is different, but is the same thing, right? A ranging market is the same as saying a zone of consolidation, right? Or a ranging market and a zone of consolidation is the same as saying sideways movement. But what are the market makers? What are the goals of the market makers when they're creating a zone of consolidation, right? Albert says trapping traders, exactly, right? A zone of consolidation is an area in the market where the market makers are trapping traders. They're inducing traders to get into a trade and they're hunting for stop losses, right? So once we already understand, okay, yes, even though in a zone of consolidation, again, you will see double tops, right? You will always see double tops, right? So all the traders who took this thinking that this was going to be a double top and they were going to look for that, you know, a retest to then continue to go short, what happened? Right?
Straight this up.
Straight to stop loss. Depending how long you were holding this trade, depending, you know, whatever the case is. Let's say you got into this trade at 1 in the morning, right? You held this trade for 6 hours, and at 7:55, what happens? Price comes up and invalidates the double top, and they hit your stop loss, right? The market is always going to give you double tops. The market is always going to give you double bottoms. The market is always going to give you double tops. You see what I'm saying? In this area alone, from 12 in the morning, 12:35 all the way till now, 9 in the morning. It's been 9 hours. The market printed one double top, two double tops, one double bottom, three double tops, right? The market also gave you an engulfing candle. So we already understand that right now we're in a zone of consolidation. So every single setup that we currently see, we already know is low probability. Because again, in a zone of consolidation, before the breaks, right? We have no break of the low, we have no break of the highs. Price has just been inducing, right? Let's circle this out again. Induce the highs, induce the low. Induce the highs, induce the lows. Induce the highs, going back to the middle and just moving sideways. Until when? A few hours pass from 4 in the morning all the way till 7 in the morning. Price came up again, induced the highs, came back to the middle, induced the lows, right? You can see it's just sideways movement. It's just trapping traders the entire time. All the traders who took this double top here, straight to stop loss. All the traders who took the double top here, straight to stop loss. All the traders who took this double top here, they're currently still in this trade, right? The traders who took this double bottom here, thinking that this is where price was going to reverse and go up, straight to stop loss when price came down here, right? So this is the behavior of the market makers, and why, for today specifically for gold, this is the reason why I'm looking at this trade, this engulfing candle, as low probability, because we're not in a trend. If price was making lower lows and lower highs, we would have a different conversation, right? This would be a high probability trade because we're in a downtrend. If price would have given us a break below the lows of the zone of consolidation and then given us a retest, that would also be high probability. But again, the fact that we're still stuck in the zone of consolidation, where again, a zone of consolidation is an area in the market where the market makers are trapping traders, this is why this trade right now is still low probability. They're collecting contracts to move in their planned direction. Yep, exactly. Triggering stop losses. Great rise in missed agent. Exactly. So again, when it comes to just that one question that you had with the retest, again, it's super simple. We're not looking for anything crazy. All you're looking for when you have an engulfing candle, all you're looking for is for price to come back and give you the retest. And once you get the retest, you get into the trade, you put your stop loss above the engulfing candle, and you let price do what it has to do, right? You place your TP at STP, and this point, very similar to yesterday's trade with US 30, price has a gap in the bottom of the market. So my first TP target is going to be the gap. If price shows us engulfing, or if price shows us exhaustion candles, and it starts making higher highs and higher lows, then we know that this is where we need to get out of the trade. But if price continues to make lower lows and lower highs the same way that US 30 did yesterday, then we know that we could continue to look for price to go down a little bit more. Let me know if that answered your question. And then you had a second question, which was the body of the retest candle touches the engulfing candle but does not break below the engulfing candle. the only candles that matter again when you're looking for a valid engulfing candle is the three candles, right? The green, green, red, or the red, red, green, right? You're looking for the second red candle, or I'm sorry, you're looking for the engulfing candle, the red candle, to close below the body of the first green candle's body, right? And once you have that, again, all you're looking for is just a retest of the area. And then you said you have a follow-up question is, even though we have the inducement of a previous high or low or lower high, do we continue to mark it as structure and identify as change of character? Yes. On the 30-minute time frame, you do. On the 30-minute time frame, you do. So again, in this case, let's see if I could find an example here for you. Let's go look through these pairs real quick. Because again, the reason you do is because on the 30-minute time frame, right, a change of character is just another way of being able to be able to see an inducement. All right, let's see if I could find an example for you here. All right, EA is still moving sideways. ACAD is still moving sideways. ECAD, right? This is a body candle, so I'm gonna try to find one that has just a wick, so you can see what it is that I'm talking about. Yeah, lower low, lower high, lower low, lower high, lower low, higher high. That's not a good example. GA is just moving sideways. GCAD, we're in the top. GJ, we're in a trend. GU. Take a look at GU.
It's not.
Yeah, man. What pairs has an inducement? Nothing right now. I guess you could use US30 as an example, right? For example, US30.
Mm-hmm.
Right? I don't want to use US30 as an example, as US30 is traded a little bit different, but it's the same thing. So for example, on US30 you had higher high, higher low, higher high, boom, lower low, change of character, right? Price never gave us a valid break of these highs. The only thing that it did was give us the inducements, right? It gave us an inducement on Monday, and it gave us an inducement on Tuesday with just a wick, right? I'm still going to mark it up as a change of character, because again, a change of character is just another way of being able to identify the inducement, right? Because we know that the valid breaks happen at the break of structure, which happens after the change of character, right? So even though this is just a wick, even though this is just price giving us an inducement of those highs, we know that it's still a change of character, because this is where price was making lower lows, and then it came up and it gave us a higher high point, right? But again, the way that I'm marking this, the way that you see I have my red box, I wouldn't do this for a pair like AUD USD or USD CAD or Euro USD. But US30 is a big pair, so instead of just marking this up as this is the new high after the change of character, I'm still looking at the previous highs that were made, which are up here, and I'm looking at this entire zone from here to here as the highs that need to be broken for price to either continue, or if price decides to come back up into these areas, if it gives us an inducement of these highs, is going to do something like this. For the 1 hour, 30-minute and below, correct. Right, you would on the 30 minute, 15 minute, 5 minute, 1 minute, you're going to want to mark up the change of character even though it's just a wick. However, on the 4 hour and the daily time frame, the wick doesn't matter. What you want to see is a body closure. You don't want to see a valid break. Again, all you want to see on the 4 hour and the daily for you to say that it's a change of character is the closure of the body needs to be above the change of character in order for you to mark it up as a change of character. Is that candle's voice is too loud? I got you. I just lowered it now.
What? Is it echoing or something?
Nah, I just have you at 100, so it's probably just louder for everybody. The second question was about when an engulfing candle gets invalidated by the retest. Um, What do you mean? Like if the if price goes above the engulfing candle, if it goes up and hits your stop loss, you're talking about? Because the only way an
Just
engulfing candle gets invalidated by the retest, it's if price gives you the engulfing candle and then price just continue. For this example, again on gold, since we're looking for price to go short since the bearish engulfing, right? The only way that an engulfing candle gets invalidated is if price just continues to trend to the top side and goes to the top side of the engulfing candle and goes to where the stop loss is at. And again, if price invalidates the engulfing candle, then it invalidates the engulfing candle. The engulfing candle, you can't use this as a zone anymore because it's already invalidated. This is not a real engulfing candle. That's the only way that price gets invalidated. For example, yesterday you entered the US 30 trade right away. Let's go look at US 30. But wick went above the engulfing? No, it didn't. Because if the wick would have been above the engulfing, we would have hit stop loss. And I
straight
didn't
to
and I
stop
didn't
loss.
enter it right away, right? Look at where I have the entry. The entry was on the second retest. Now, why did I enter on the second retest? Is because again, on US 30, right? You have the green candle, and the red candle, right? Again, US 30, the reason you always hear me say I don't really want to talk about US 30 is because US 30 I trade it a little bit differently. Some of the rules on US 30 you have to bend them just a little bit, right? But it's nothing different, right? We understand that gaps on US 30, especially on the 1 minute and the 5 minute time frame, is going to happen regularly because US 30, gold, GBP, JPY, those are fast moving pairs, super volatile, meaning that there will be a lot of times where there's going to be gaps in the market when the price is opening a new candle, right? The same way that there's a gap here on the 1 minute time frame. Right, let's see if we can spot another one before this. Right, technically, this is a little gap here as well, this green candle, because this green candle, right, when you're looking at candlesticks and how they print, you always got to remember, right, and we'll use this as an example, right, whenever you have a green candle or a red candle, right, this is a green candle to the top side. The next candle that opens should open at the top of the green candle, right next to it, right? Another candle should open here, right? And let's say that this next candle is a red candle, right? The next candle that should open after this red candle should open right next to it, right? Right next to the body of the candle, that's where that next candle should open, right? And then again, let's say price goes up, right? The green candle that prints, the next candle that should print right next to the body. Sorry, I can't draw straight. Right next to the body, and then continue, and then the same thing. So when you're looking at the candlesticks, if you see that a candlestick doesn't open right next to the other one, that's oh shit. That's that's a gap in the market, right? So in the instance for yesterday's trade, right, why did we get into this trade right away? Is because of the confirmations that we already had before, previous to that engulfing candle, right? Now, did I get into this trade right away? No, because if you notice it, which was what we had on the screen yesterday, this green candle, this is a gap in the market because this green candle closed up here, right? And then the next candle, which was the engulfing red candle, opened at the bottom. So we knew that this was a gap in the market. Now, did price go above the engulfing candle? No. Because again, what you're looking at, the top of the engulfing candle is the green wick. The top of the second green candle's wick. The only thing price did, the candle right after the engulfing candle, right, it came up, it filled the gap on the 1 minute time frame, and as soon as it filled the gap, it came down and it gave us an exhaustion candle. I waited for the third, I guess you could say, right? I waited for the third candle, to see what it wanted to do, and it did the same thing. It came up and it gave us a retest, and that's when I got into the trade. Right? I got into the trade on this candle here because again, I already knew that because we have this gap up here, if price wouldn't have filled this gap up, I wouldn't have taken this trade. I would have waited for price to come up and fill that gap up first to then look for an entry. Yeah, you got it in the second retest, correct. And again, I got it on the second retest because once I saw this engulfing candle printed with a gap, again, already instantly, the first thing on my mind is before I enter this trade, I need to see price fill this gap up. Because if price doesn't fill this gap up, price could still trap everybody. And this is where price could have induced everybody and just went and gotten up to the top side and started an uptrend push instead of doing the downtrend push. Right? And again, the fact that price not only filled the gap, but also gave us an exhaustion candle, just in this sequence alone, this is already a 99% win rate. You had the fill of the gap and you have an exhaustion candle, you already know where price is going to go. And again, with US 30 specifically as well, even before this engulfing candle was printed, we already knew that price was going to go down. Right? So it wasn't a question of whether or not price was going to go down. No, we knew price was going to go down because before that engulfing candle was printed, the news that we had at 8:30 again left the gap at the bottom of the market, and it gave us an inducement of the high, which in this case yesterday was an inducement of the 4-hour high, the daily high, and the 30-minute high. And after it gave us the inducement of the high, it came down and it closed as an exhaustion candle. So our first confirmation, again, we entered this trade at what, 9:28, 9:27 in the morning. At 8:30, we already knew once this 8:30 candle closed, we already knew the direction of the market. Right? So it wasn't a question of whether or not price was going to go down. No, we know price is going to go down. So the next thing you have to see is like, okay, we know price is going to go down. Now we just have to wait for our entries to be given. Right? And in this case, the entry that was given was that 1 minute engulfing candle. Let me know if that made sense in the chat, or if you guys have any other questions, anything you want me to explain again, let me know.
Great explanation.
Thank you, man.
Kind of excited to see what this shirt look like.
What you say? You say you can't wait to see what I look like with my shirt off? Dude,
All right,
you're
buddy.
a freak.
That's what you dreamed about last night?
Yeah, that's why I couldn't sleep. All clean?
My
Alright,
last
better you.
text to you was I did tell you to dream about.
You did? I did dream about something, I just don't remember what it is anymore. But that's why I woke up so early.
I was like, damn, this nigga up?
Yeah, I was up at like 3:30.
Fuck.
It's normal shit though, man. I got fucking me sleeping a whole night is I got lucky.
Tell me I got lucky.
I'm usually up at 3:30. I'll look at my phone, I'll
Mm,
look at the charts. If I don't see shit, I just try to go back to sleep.
damn.
I have to take a piss. I'll be right back, guys.
All right, buddy. Mexico the best. Let me see. What chat? Adrian Albert was good.
Alright, I'm back. I'm back again, my bad. Alright. No questions in the chat. Albert, you good?
Yeah, I was trying to talk to him. They didn't respond, man.
It's all good. Adrian, you good? Jessica, you guys all good? Let me know if the explanation made sense or if you need me to say it again in another way. Just let me know.
Let me know. Let me know. Let me know. Let me know what's up with you.
Let me know. Let me know. Let me know. Let me know what's up with you.
Yo, I can't wait, bro.
Yo, we going to a Juice WRLD concert or what?
Of course, man.
Can't wait, bro. That's gonna be
It's
me
gonna be
walking up to the
good,
pearly
man.
gates, man. I'm gonna be like, Juice, let me in, please.
Please. Oh,
Um,
yo. That's crazy,
thanks.
man.
I'll rewatch videos. Okay, but I'm still stuck with the engulfing candle being invalidated. What do you mean? Like, what is it? What is it about the engulfing candle that's not making sense? Because again, the only way an engulfing candle, again, there's a huge difference between what a high probability and a low probability engulfing candle is. So that's the first thing I'll ask you. Does that make sense? Like the idea of any entry models. Again, it doesn't have to be the engulfing candles, but since we're talking about engulfing candles, I'll ask you about the engulfing candles. Does the idea of a low probability versus high probability engulfing candle, does that make sense to you? Let me know. That's the first question I'll ask you. Okay, so the concept of high probability versus low probability makes sense. Okay, cool. Now, again, the only way any entry model could be invalidated, right? I'll give you some examples, right? When you're looking at an entry model and the entry model is a flag post pattern, right? What invalidates a flag post pattern? Well, we know that in order for a flag post pattern to be valid, you want to see price consolidate or give you a pullback between the 23.6 and the 38.2 retracement on the fibs, right? In order for the market to invalidate a flag post pattern, right? It's invalidated when the pullback is steeper than the 38.2 and it reaches the 50%, right? So that's the way you see if price invalidated a flag post pattern, right? Same thing with the double bottoms and the double tops, right? A double bottom, which is the W, and we'll draw it out so it can make a little bit more sense, right? Price invalidates the double bottom entry if price goes below the double bottom, the structure of the double bottom. The same way that as a double top, which is the information, right? Price invalidates the double top when price goes above it and it goes above the structure. Same thing with the engulfing candles, right? If you have an engulfing candle, right, you have a green candle, and then you have the red candle, right? your engulfing candle gets invalidated, right? This is the retest. This is where you would want to see the next candles give you the retest to continue, right? The engulfing candle gets invalidated if price goes above the structure, which again in this case would be as if price goes above that second green candle's wick. This is where the engulfing candle would be invalidated. Now, let's say price gives you that invalidation move to the top side, and then price continues to trend down to the bottom, right? Am I looking for price to give me a retest of the engulfing candle again to continue? No, because this is already invalidated. This isn't a real engulfing candle. This is not a real valid place to look for that entry, right? So this is the only way price invalidates any type of entry model is if it goes counter trend and goes to where the stop loss should be at. And it's the same concept with any entry model that you take. Whether you're looking for double bottoms, or you're looking for double tops, or you're looking for the bearish or bullish engulfing candles. Again, the flag post pattern is a little different because the flag post pattern, you're just looking for a specific retest or a specific pullback. You might hit TP there. Yeah, I'm waiting to see. Again, I'm more looking at at this point I'm looking to see if price wants to break these lows down here. Right, again, at this point we're at the bottom of the zone of consolidation. Right, price came back down to the bottom and it gave us an inducement. Right, it just gave us the wicks at the bottom. It just gave us an inducement. So could price, give us an inducement and then start uptrending again? Absolutely. Right, and again, the fact that we have this gap at the top of the market, it's already 9:42. We hadn't used at 8:30. Nothing happened with the news. There was really no volume at the 9:30 open either. So this is a pair where kind of just gonna have to wait and see what price wants to do. What if price wicks your stop loss? That's what I'm saying, Albert. Even if price just throws a wick at where your stop loss should be, which in this case again, if price just comes up and wicks the top of the green candle, the top of the engulfing candle, it invalidates the engulfing candle. That engulfing candle is no longer valid. Right, you see how my entries are every single time with the engulfing candles. Usually it's price literally just retesting it and then going straight to take profit. Right, if price goes up, and even if it's a wick or even if it's a body candle, if price goes above that second green candle wick, then it's invalidated. The engulfing candle is no longer valid and it's not gonna work.
To make some tea.
If it wicks above the engulfing candle, if you didn't enter the trade, don't take it. If you took it, if it goes above the engulfing, hit your stop loss. Yep, exactly. Yeah, if you got into a trade and then it, obviously if you're in the trade and it hits your stop loss, it hits your stop loss. Right? But if there's an engulfing candle and you haven't taken the trade yet and you see price is still pushing to the top side and it goes straight to stop loss, or it goes straight to where your stop loss would be, then you already know that that's not a good area to look for the trade. And again, most likely you're going to see that your bias was completely wrong for that day. And we see that happening all the time. Again, how many live streams have we had where, whether it's an isolation session or a live trading session or a weekly market breakdown. Hold on, my sister's calling me. Give me a second.
Do we have any water bottles? Any water bottles?
crazy work out of my sister, bro. Thanks guys on crystal clear. All right, perfect. And my sister called me. So like the other day, I don't even know if I
Right.
should say this shit on stream, bro. I'm gonna get clowned. It is what it is. Um,
Okay.
the other day my mom has a dress here, and she was like, "Oh look, this I'm gonna give this dress to your sister because she's going to a wedding next week or some shit." And I'm like,
Okay.
"Oh shit, cool. I'm gonna try it on."
This nigga.
And then so you could send her a picture of how the dress looks. I put the dress on, bro, and showed my sister how it looked. And she called me, and she was like, "Yo, could you bring me the dress that you tried on for me?" I was like, "Yo, you don't have to say it like that." Like, the fuck?
um, where's the pic?
Oh, we have one.
Let me see.
A video, actually. Hell
Oh
no.
my God.
I told them,
Wow.
bro, that you better. The only way you're showing that video in the world is if I die. Show it at my funeral.
Oh my God, bro.
What?
I ain't gonna show nobody.
I'm not gonna show nobody. Facts.
No, I'm not gonna show nobody.
No, I mean neither. I ain't showing nobody.
Come on, man.
Nah, man.
Grow up here.
Oh, I have to. That's what it is growing up with a sister, man. You just gotta, you know, just gotta take one for the team, I guess.
This nigga had a dress on.
All right. Yo, do you know who else wears a dress and nobody makes fun of him? Fucking, I don't know his name. Tyler
Who?
Perry.
Tyler Perry?
Yeah.
That nigga gay.
You think so? He be playing a woman for like the last 30 years, bro.
Man,
He does a good job at it though.
very good job.
Maybe I could do that too. I'll hit him up like, "Yo, I could play Medea."
Oh,
I hope that's the
I
name.
mean, you do got cake,
And I got long hair.
and you got long.
And I got long ass eyelashes too.
Oh, so you actually considering this?
It's been something I've been considering for the last 15 years of my life, pretty much.
Okay.
I could play a good woman on TV.
So I'm glad that you tapped into your feminine side, you know?
All right. Saying all this while packing a cone. That's all
Wow,
you need, brother.
packing a cone?
It helps everyone. Yeah, it does help everyone. I always say that too, right? A question that you have is probably a question that somebody else has, and they're just too scared to ask the question. So every question helps. All right. Albert says, yeah, he's fruity. All right.
No, he talking about Tyler Perry. He ain't talking about you.
Oh, okay. Tyler Perry on some ritual shit in Hollywood, man.
Hey, I don't even want to know.
Shit, I do. I'm trying to get paid millions, hundreds of millions.
Nah, nah, that ain't worth it, man.
You don't think so? Yo,
Hell
somebody
no.
from Hollywood comes up to you right now and says, "Yo, you gotta wear a dress and a wig for 2 hours." You're gonna say no for 200 mil?
Yeah, yeah.
You a damn liar. See, that's the problem. You too masculine.
It's some things that I can't just like, bro. Nah, bro.
You too masculine, bro. You gotta tap in your feminine side.
I am. I'm
You,
one with my feminine side.
fake news. Can't wear a dress, bro.
Not that I can't wear a dress, but like,
Like if your sister goes and tells you, "Yo, wear this dress for me just because I want to see how it looks," what are you gonna tell her? No.
oh, then yeah.
Okay.
That's like if like I had a daughter and like she wanted me to do it, then yeah, I do it. But
Like if she wanna have a tea party, you're gonna dress up for the tea party
of course,
with your little Cinderella dress.
yep.
Mm.
Mm.
Put a
Nice
tiara
little
on.
crown. Yep.
Hell yeah.
Nice little tiara on.
Put your high heels on.
I don't know about the high heels, man.
I also did that for my aunt when
All
she was
right,
here.
buddy.
I was like, "Yo, I don't know how y'all walking this shit." I was walking around with the heels on, tapping my feet. Like, "Yo, I look pretty."
Arm was swinging.
Nah, my arms weren't swinging because I was uncomfortable, but I was
This
walking around
nigga.
like I'm the shit though.
Mm.
Red
You
bottoms.
was embracing it.
Damn. This is what y'all feel like?
But this what y'all feel like?
It's like no wonder a lot of these women just walk around like on a high horse. I would too.
I would too.
Fucking 4'9", put the heels on. I'm 5'3". Hell yeah.
That's what like it'd be hella short girls driving big ass trucks.
It's kind of hot though. No? Okay.
Wait, huh?
So it's kind of hot though.
Mm. Yeah, I like girls that drive trucks. Because
I'm fucking sweating like crazy right now. Let
have you
me
seen
know.
US 30?
I have not. Let's see. Is it just flying or is it going down?
Going down.
Gives an exhaustion candle. Got the cross of the 50 and the 200.
Bouncing off to 30. I mean, at 50.
See, this is an example of an invalidated engulfing candle, Albert. On the 1 hour time frame, you had a green, green, red, right? And
Straight
then
to
price
stop
went straight to
loss.
stop loss. But again, you know, this is just an area where, again, why is this already as a trader? Again, once you see that you have an engulfing candle, right? You have to be able to identify, is this a high probability area to take a trade or is it a low probability? And you already know that these lows, right? These lows and these highs is where the market has been trapping traders, going back high, trapping traders going high, going back to the bottom, right? So we already know that this is a low probability engulfing candle because we're back at the lows where price has rejected before, right? So we already know, like, I'm not even going to mark this engulfing candle up. I'm not even going to pay attention to it because I already know it's a low probability engulfing candle.
Exactly. And price tapped into it one, two times. So price was tapped into it twice. And
We
took
know that
out the
on the 1
stops.
minute, we were looking for the change of character. We're waiting for a break above, right? Did we get a valid break? No, right? Then price came down and gave us a change of character back down to the bottom. And again, same thing. Here on the 5 minute time frame, you have an engulfing candle going long. And if you would have taken the trade at the retest, straight to stop loss. And again, why? Because we have no
Yo,
confirmation of the trend shifting.
yo, that's crazy, bro.
What?
Wait, hold on. Oh, no, because like the candles be showing up differently. Just how we did that
Yesterday?
yesterday, yeah.
Let me know, let me know, let me know, let me know what's up with you.
Ooh, like that's what I look forward to when I get my car, bro.
Listen to music and that shit.
That's yes, bro. Like that's a luxury that I really miss, bro. Being able to listen to music, play tunes and shit while driving.
What I miss doing is having my headphones on or my earphones and listening to music. I haven't done that shit in a long time.
Mm. Blackberries.
Yeah.
No trade today, man.
What'd you say about Jay-Z Drake?
Fuck them.
Hey, 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 chill out.
Hmm. I got some tea and some blackberries.
What I really want is a Jamaican patty.
Mm. What's that?
You said what's that?
Uh-huh.
Ain't never had a Jamaican patty before?
Nope.
What the fuck?
I mean, bro, you live right next to Jamaica, right?
Yeah, I mean technically, yeah, you're not wrong. Got a lot of
Right.
Jamaicans down here in Miami.
Damn monkey.
Yo, but like you've never, but you got Jamaicans in fucking Chicago too. What are you on about?
Yeah, but I don't really be eating jerk.
I don't eat jerk. I don't eat jerk either.
Jerk dick.
Oh, hold on, give me a second.
Uh, that sounds so crazy.
Dile a mami que ya dejó su teléfono.
Cala a boca, you dirty cucaracha. I just chopping. Chop dick. Consolidate.
All right, I'm back. Anyway, you
Stop
never
beef.
had jerk chicken either, bro?
Yeah, I had jerk before, but that shit nasty.
How to make a quick run? All good, Albert. Welcome back. I never had jerk chicken. I never had the opportunity to before I converted to veganism.
Being gay.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
It's pretty similar.
Yo, look, it was not snowing a few hours ago, right?
Yo, I asked you to make me a snow angel like 3 times and you haven't done it. I need you to tee up and go make a snow
I
angel.
sent you a picture of it.
No, you didn't.
Yes, I did.
You did 2 years ago. The first time I asked. Not this time.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Oh, I know what I'm talking about. I don't forget, bro. I have good memory. I'm a trader.
We don't forgive, we don't forget. Who
Forgive but
who
never
said
forget.
that?
I don't know. I think like Scumpy or Formore or something.
Oh, hell no. Uh, Anonymous,
Hell no.
the hacker group.
Nah, Scump said it first. They copied that from him.
Well, they copied that from We Are Legion. We don't forgive, we don't forget. Back in my hacker days, man. They used to have fucking three full letter Twitter usernames and shit. Selling them bitches for like $1,000, $2,000 for a Twitter username, bro.
That's how much they're going for now again. and Twitter selling them themselves. I saw that shit a few days ago, a few weeks ago.
Really?
Yeah, they have their own thing now where they're like, oh yeah, you could just message us like our support group, but you gotta pay to get whatever username that you want if it's available, and it's like thousands and thousands of dollars. And they did that for that
That's
reason, to fuck up the marketplace for the people who do that shit online.
yeah.
They did
Like the
that shit on
hackers and
purpose.
stuff.
Yeah. Cause I've
I
been
ain't gonna
trying,
lie.
bro, for like the last 5, 6, no, what year are we? 2026, like the last 8 years. I've been trying to get two usernames. I've been trying to get like when I had the tournament page, MOY. I
That'd be
I
hard.
messaged I messaged the person that owns the MOY username, and she's active and she's an artist. She's an author. And I'm like,
Mm-hmm.
yo, please, I'll pay you, bro. I just need this username. And then the OG JumpeR one, it was inactive for a lot of years, and then somebody has it. Hold on, bro. What the fuck? I'll be right back.
All right. Hey, we got two trades. Let's go. We got two trades. Let's see how do we have any engulfing candles setting up? No, that's not valid. No wick on top or bottom. So we got change on the 1 minute. Let me see how price looks on US 30. Because we could potentially be getting this break on US 30. Potentially could be getting this break on US 30. Okay. We need for price to give us a clean break of structure. Then we can start trades. Same thing. Gold. Actually, shit. Both of them setting up, honestly. Got more pips on gold though. So I'm probably stick with gold. US 30 could be giving us an inducement.
Alright, I'm back. My bad. My mom left her phone here at the house.
Mama, mommy, mommy, mom, mom.
Alright, so gold looks like it wants to give us a valid break. We got 2 minutes for this candle to print. We'll see if it wants to give us a break below. If it gives us that break below, we still have a few pips to work with for TP. 190 pips for the first TP, which is the gap at the bottom, and then 280 pips for STP.
Yep.
Yeah, no top wick on the engulfing, but is also not a valid engulfing because the second green candle did not close above the first green candle's wick anyway. So this wouldn't be a valid engulfing candle anyway. And then on the 1 minute, we don't have anything up here. Aside from structure, which at this point, again, we're pretty much trading higher high, higher low, higher high, lower low. Then price came up and gave us a change of character higher high, so we're trading between this high and this low. On the 1 minute time frame, price gave us the change of character lower low, lower high. And then now we're looking for a 1 minute lower low break of structure to happen down here.
Good explanation, JumpeR. Good. Bro, um, so you know who Nord Trades is, right?
Nora trades.
Nord Trades, the guy that was talking about TJR and shit.
Yeah.
So like he was doing something like where he would go to like main cities
Mm-hmm.
and like host like trading groups and stuff like that. And like he would like trade with them, but also like teach them like um just how to fucking trade. Like and like it was like a weekly boot camp. And I think that that'd be kind of cool, man. Once like Vice start picking up like some traction and shit.
Yeah, that would be fire to do.
Yeah.
Alright, so we got the clean break on the 5 minute of the engulfing
5 minutes.
of the zone of consolidation. On the 1 minute time frame, we do not
No
have a
clean
valid
break.
break just yet. We still gotta wait it missed the explanation. The explanation of which one of this engulfing candle, which is not valid, again, is not valid because the second green candle did not close above the first green candle's wick, and then the red candle doesn't have a top wick either. And then the other explanation was waiting for a valid break below the zone of consolidation, which we did get now, right? The fact that this candle closed below the wick, not touching the break of structure line, we have the clean break on the 5-minute. And on the 1-minute time frame, price gave us the change of character, which happened down here, lower low, lower high. And on the 1-minute time frame, we're now looking for a valid break of structure, which is going to be another red candle that closes above this candle's wick, right? We're waiting for that valid break to then look for an entry on the pullback on gold. I don't like the fact that US 30 and gold are moving in the same direction though.
Bro, are you reading my mind, bro?
Yeah,
I was literally just about to say that. Because they both gave us an inducement of the low in the 1 minute.
How they're doing that.
And like they aren't really moving how like they normally move too.
Gold, please. X.
Second candle close.
Second green candle closed above the red candle. On what, the engulfing? No, the second green candle did not close above the wick of the first green candle. And then the red candle, which would have been the engulfing candle on the 5-minute, doesn't have a top wick. So either way is not a valid engulfing candle. And then on the 1 minute, you're looking for the valid break of structure below these lows, right? Which we never got. We never had price close below this wick. Every candle closed above it, or is still touching the break of structure line.
Yeah, they're not making it easy for us, man.
They're not today, man. Not today.
Because I'm not really liking how the EMAs are looking on the 1 minute either.
I like
what
how
the
they,
fuck?
I like how they look on the 1 minute.
Okay.
You have the 50 below the 200. You have price break the 800
And
EMA
800.
right here. So it's not looking bad.
It was just how far away it was from that
Right.
or high point that price had just made.
This would just be a situation where, let's say we get this break now, or the next candle, because this wouldn't be a valid break if this candle closes.
Right.
This is just where we would be expecting price to give us a steeper pullback. We'll probably see
Okay.
the EMA go down between like the 78.6 and the 61.8.
All right.
And that's where we'll look for that retest to be given.
Okay.
The doji doesn't really count. What do you, on where, on what candle, on what time frame are you looking at, Albert? Because there's no doji candles here on the 5-minute, on where this engulfing candle would have been. Or are you talking about yesterday's trade with US 30? Hold on, my grandma's
Not
calling me
making
now.
it
Give
easy.
me 1 second.
All right.
My bad. The doji doesn't really count, no, because again, when you're looking for a valid break, you want to see a red candle close below the first initial candle. You want to see the candle close below the wick. So the fact that this candle never closed below the wick, yes, even though it's not touching the break of structure line, it didn't give you a valid break because it didn't close below. Now, this red candle here, it closed below the wick, but it's still touching the break of structure line. So this is still an inducement, right? This green candle, yes, even though it closed below the wick, is not a break because it's a green candle. It's just an inducement candle. Give me 1 second, man. Fuck.
All right.
Alright, yo, maybe I'll be able to sit down for more than 5 fucking minutes, yo. Holy shit. Anyway, so yeah. So on the one
Yeah,
minute,
they are
again,
moving this.
the candle never gave us a valid break, and that's the reason why we're seeing price move the way that it's moving right now. And this is not what I wanted to see, but this is exactly what I was just telling Kendall. Like, the EMAs look good. The only thing that's missing is that valid break. If we would have gotten a
Mm-hmm.
valid break of these lows, and price would have been giving us these type of pullbacks, this is where we'd be looking for a retest. A little bit steeper than usual, right? But we'd
Mm-hmm.
be looking for that retest on the 50 EMA wherever it's at. But
All
even
right.
looking at it like this, right? Even if we say, oh, but this is still lower low, right? Would you still be looking for that lower high point to be made? No,
No,
because at this point, once again, this is just an inducement.
exactly.
So could this be lower low, lower high, lower low inducement for price to then turn around? And again, remember what we had in the beginning of the day. We have the gap. Could price just be targeting this gap at the top side? Absolutely.
And like the main reason as to why we aren't is because the breaker structure is what confirms the trend.
Exactly. And again, the only real break that we have, right? Let's go back to the backside, right? The only real break that we have is the break of the zone of consolidation, right? So could this just be a case where we have a zone of consolidation, we have the break, price comes up, fills the gap up here, and then we start going back down again? Absolutely.
What time frame is that gap on?
The 5 minute,
Okay.
which I'm looking at it now, it looks like it
Oh
was
yeah, I
probably a
see it.
fake gap. Oh, no, it's still there. Okay, cool.
What, 46.35?
Yeah, 46.35.
Oh, okay.
Right? And we can see how the markets are trapping traders. Like all the traders who were trading this in the 1 minute, who thought that this was just going to be a simple, oh, look, a retest of the 50% retracement. We went straight to profit. Nope. Faked you out, straight to stop loss. Right? All the traders who are trading with the EMAs, who understand the EMAs, that's why we see these candles. This isn't a coincidence, guys. Right? Whenever you see price reaching an area where most traders are taking trades, there's a reason why it looked like this was gonna there's a reason why it looked like this was gonna go straight down again. It's because of all the traders who got into a short position in here. They drove the market down, but the market makers know better. The market makers knew that this was just an inducement to continue. There's a reason why there's an exhaustion candle at the 50 EMA retest. Because all the traders who waited for price to get to this area to start taking trades going back down, again, the market makers are just inducing you. They made you, holy shit, bro. I'm gonna fucking have a bitch fit. Hold on. Holy fuck. Crazy work. I'm back. Sorry, guys. So anyway, there's a reason why the market makers, are printing doji candles in an area where you would think a lot of people are getting into a trade, right? And then you can see it makes you believe that price is going to continue to go down and does what? Straight to stop loss. So all the traders who had their stop loss above the previous lower high point, right? A lot of the traders who don't really understand market structure and what a real break is, how many traders do you think were trapped into this trade? Right? There was a lot of them. So, Kendall, you still here?
Yeah, I'm here.
Alright, cool. Let me know if that made sense in the chat, guys. Adrian, Albert, let me know.
I don't know what account is this.
And again, already at this point, it's already 10:20 in the morning. I'm not looking to take any more trades for the day. That's it. Right? We can see how US 30 is reacting again in an area where we've been rejecting highs and rejecting these lows. The last two 30-minute candles, just look how crazy they look. Right? So we already know today's not a day where I'm going to be looking to take a trade on US 30. We're going to wait it out. I'm going to wait for structure to clean up a little bit. Right? If it doesn't look clean, don't take it. Right? Again, same thing with gold. Right? What did we want to see before we start looking for a trade? Right?
Break
First thing is
structure.
first, we wanted to see that break of structure of the zone of consolidation. Cool. We got that. Perfect. Right? Now we're looking for a retest. After a break of structure, you're looking for a retest. So this is all that this is now. And again, with gold, once again, technically speaking, we're still making higher highs and higher lows. Right? We're making higher high, higher low, higher high, higher low. Right? Higher high, higher low, higher high, higher low, and this is the higher high. And this is a higher low. Right? So understanding market structure, we already can say, well, okay, yes, we have this gap at the bottom of the market. We know that eventually price will fill this gap up. But we can't get ahead of ourselves. We understand that we have this gap at the bottom and we have this gap at the top. Price is still making higher highs and higher lows. What do we think is going to happen? Right? Price is either going to continue the trend, right? At this point, we could say that this entire zone here is a zone of consolidation on the 30-minute time frame. So what does that mean? If price comes up, it fills the gap and it gives us an inducement of the high, and we start making lower lows and lower highs, we know that price is going to come back down. And we know that if price comes back down and it gives us an inducement of the low and it starts giving us higher highs and higher lows, we're going to go back to the high. Or vice versa. If price comes to the highs and gives us a break of structure retest, we know it's going to continue the uptrend push. And if price gives us a break of the low and a retest, then again, we also know we have a gap at the bottom of the market here, and we have clean traffic to the bottom, so we know that price is gonna come back down and give us that trend. Right? I hope this is making sense. Like, the way that you have to piece the market together and piece the charts up together is very, very, very important. Right? That's why it's very important to always be aware of where you're trading and what's currently happening. Right? Because if we would have just gotten stuck on the fact that, oh, we have the break of the zone of consolidation, we're going to continue to go, but understanding that, yes, even though we have a break of the zone of consolidation on the 5-minute time frame going short, the overall trend, again, this zone of consolidation was made at the top, at the higher high. So the break of the zone of consolidation was just price giving us a higher low on the 30-minute time frame. Right? And that's why it's very important. It's very, very important to understand every single rule that we've given you guys in the last 3 years. It's very important. Because one wrong move is going to cost you hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of dollars. Thousands of dollars if you have the account size for it. This is the biggest reason why you see traders online, and I'm not going to name them, TJR, That's why you see these fucking clowns losing hundreds of thousands of
Man,
dollars on a day-to-day basis. It's not because they don't know how to trade. No, they know how to trade. You know, they know how to press buy and sell, but they don't understand market structure. Uh, and again, it's not a just a bash to him. Yo, 80% of the people you guys see online do not understand what market structure really is. They don't. Again, do you need to know market structure in its entirety to be able to be profitable? Absolutely not. Absolutely not. But do you need to
absolutely
understand
not.
market structure to have a good percentage, a good win rate, to understand why you lost a trade? Absolutely. And
But
that's the reason you see a lot of these traders hashtag set and forget, hashtag
man,
close your charts when you lose. Because they're not telling you to go back test and go figure out why you lost. Because again, everybody online is going to tell you, oh, trading is just 50-50. It's a gamble. You're in a casino.
it's on
And
the
it's not
50
fucking
50.
true. It's not true. Trading is not 50-50.
It's
Trading
not.
is 100%. You're either 100% right or you're 100% wrong. And there's a reason why you're right and there's a reason why you're wrong. So, again, like, there's a lot of information that you have to know. It's not information that, like in school, when the fucking teachers are telling you, you have to know this information. Like, no, yeah, you need to know the information to go take a test, and then you forget about it and you go learn something else, right? Trading is not like that. Trading, you either know the information or you don't. And it's information that you're going to use every single day. And it's gonna get boring. It is boring. I say this every single time, and I said this a lot last year. Trading is boring. This is the most boring shit I've ever fucking done in my life. Because it's the same thing. It's a repetitive cycle every single day. You're looking for the same shit every single day. But there's a reason why only 5% of traders are actually profitable. And that's a real statistic. Again, there's a reason for that. What time do you no longer watch the charts when New York open? I usually finish at 10:30. That's pretty much my cutoff time. I only trade, realistically speaking, I trade from 6 to 10, 6 a.m. to 10:30 a.m. That's my window to take trades. Mr. Bashir, welcome, my brother. Now, does that mean that trades won't happen after 10:30? No, trades will happen, right? A day like today where we didn't really have any volume for the news at 8 in the morning, there's no volume during the NYC Open. There's a huge possibility that we'll see STP be hit during the lunch session, right? A lot of traders, they'll, if they don't trade during the NYC Open, they'll come back after lunch, right? Which after lunch in trading terms, when you're looking at the time, is 12 to 2 p.m., 12 to 3 p.m. Eastern time. So 2 hours from now, pretty much. As long as it's paying my bills, it's never gonna be boring. That's facts. That's a good way to put it.
He ain't lying though.
But yeah, you're right. You're not lying.
Shit, they can pay the bills, nigga. I don't care. Hey, I don't
Market
gotta
is
clock
waiting for
in
the news of
nowhere.
the terrorists being legal or not. That could be it too. I know they said they were gonna talk about that sometime this week, so that's definitely something else. Again, it all boils down to everything that's going on worldwide. We say this all the time as well. Right? There's so much going on. Right? There's so much news going on. There's so many things that are going to be said in the next couple of weeks, next couple of months, where you just have to be aware. But again, even putting the news aside, it's supposed to be today. Okay, cool. Yeah, putting the news aside again, it's not like the market isn't telling you what's gonna happen, right? Like you look at a pair like US 30, people are looking at this confused, like, oh, why is this happening? Look how weird this is. But what we've just explained in the last, how long we've been streaming for, right? We've been streaming for an hour and a half. Everything that we've talked about in the last hour and a half, it makes sense, right? Like, it makes sense. Like, there's a reason why US 30 is moving this way, because we're in a zone of consolidation where price has rejected highs and rejected lows in the past already. Without a valid break, we can't continue to look for shorts here. This is going to be where price is either going to give us the inducement to then continue, or price is just going to continue to induce traders down here and give us a zone of consolidation, right? Again, same thing for gold. Same thing for gold. What are we doing? We're making higher highs and higher lows. Price gave us a higher high. Cool. Price going down is just price giving us a higher low. We're still on an uptrend. So it's like, yes, even though there's a lot of news, and even though there's a whole bunch of stuff going on, and even though there's this and that is gonna happen, and this comes out, and CPI and PPI and NFP and unemployment claims, and the F-type Jaguar just came out yesterday, whatever the fucking case is, right? There again, if you could read the market, and again, when you're reading the market, you're looking at market structure and candlestick analysis, that's all you really need. That's all you really need. You don't need anything else. If you could read the market, if you speak the language of the markets, the market is going to tell you exactly what it is that's going to happen before it happens. It's that simple. There's no science behind it. You don't have to be a politician. You don't have to be a news anchor. All you got to do is be a trader. And being a trader being a trader means that you have the understanding of what market structure is and candlestick analysis. Understanding where and why the market is moving, right? Where's the market moving, and why is the market moving the way that it is? Everything else, again, I've always said it. The reason I don't watch television, the reason I don't watch the news, is because all of that is to distract you from the reality of things. And my reality in life is trading. News is just a way to trick you. Tell, lie, vision. It says it right there in the fucking name. Tell the lies. That's the vision they want you to have. Everybody's gonna tell you a whole bunch of bullshit, a whole bunch of conspiracy theories. Oh, the market and the news, and that has nothing to do with nothing. The market is something that's always going to move exactly how it needs to move. It doesn't matter what's happening. And again, I've shown you guys the examples. Every time we talk about US 30 and we talk about gold, especially during COVID, you think it's a coincidence? Well, it's because of COVID that the market went down. No, it's not. US 30 was in peak high territory. We were in level 3. Gave us an M formation at the top. It gave us 3 pushes to the bottom side. Everybody's going to tell you that, oh yeah, the market went down because of COVID. That's not true. The market went down because the market had to go down. It had to give you the new cycle. It's that simple. There's really nothing more to it. Oh, I knew the market was going to go down today because my alarm didn't go off. It's a sign from God. Okay. Yeah, me too, man. Me too. So, it's, again, when you guys trade with me, again, this is the reason why I turn these streams on, is to really show you guys, like, there is no outside factor in trading. There is no outside factor. Trading is what you know about it. And if you don't have the right information to be able to be that type of trader, it's going to be a very difficult game to get into. But once you
Time to
already
play the
understand, like,
game.
again, if you go to China and you don't speak Chinese, you're fucked. If you go to Cuba and you don't speak Spanish, you're fucked. If you go to France and you don't speak French, you're fucked. Yo, I'm sorry, you're fucked. So it's the same way. Yo, if you are wanting to be a trader and you don't speak the language of the charts, which is candlestick analysis and market structure, you're fucked. You're fucked. It's that easy. Like, there is no other way I could explain that. If you want to go play basketball, but you have no fucking clue how to shoot the ball, you're fucked. You want to start a band, but you have no clue how to play instruments and you're horrible at singing, you're fucked. Like, there is no other, like, I don't know how else I could explain that for it to make sense. If you play Call of Duty and you don't understand the rotations of the map and you don't know where the objectives are, you're going to lose. It's the same in every single aspect of life. If you want to be a doctor, but you have no clue where the heart is at, you're not going to be a good doctor.
You gonna kill somebody?
Yo, is what I'm saying. Like it's the same thing. Like it doesn't matter what you're doing. If you work at a cash register and you don't know how the fuck to open the cash register, you're not gonna be able to make no transactions. You want to be an accountant, but you don't know how to do math. How the fuck are you going to be an accountant? It's that simple. Like there is no other way to explain this. You want to be a dentist, but you have no clue that the teeth are inside the mouth. How are we gonna do that? Yo, how are you gonna be a dentist and you don't even know where the teeth are? It just it's stuff like that where it's trading is no different. We just want it to be different, but there is no difference. Like trading, you either know it or you don't.
You
There
don't.
is no middle line. There's no
Either you
in
gay or
between
you
that.
not.
Well, that's different. We have a valid red in golfing now. We got the BOS of the 5 minute. Yeah, we have a that engulfing candle. But again, is this a low probability or high probability trade? Right? Yes. Even though
Well,
we have the break on the 5 minute, right, of the zone of consolidation, again, is the understanding that right now we are still trading higher high, higher low, higher high, higher low, higher high. Right? Higher high, higher low, higher high, higher low, higher high. So you're taking a short position, right? On the 5 minute, you're taking a short position in an area where on the higher time frame, this is just a higher low. What happened when you come to Nigeria? I don't know, bruh. I ain't never been over there. What are your takes on that? Yeah, I mean that's the only thing, Adrian. Right? Like yes, even though we have that 5 minute engulfing, right, and it looks like it would be a good trade, it would still be low probability. Yo, they're calling my mom's phone again, bro. I'm about to burn this shit. Be right back, bro.
I mean, God. Yeah, the only thing that I don't like about this, Adrian, is the fact that even on the 1 minute, we're still uptrending on the 1 minute.
My bad, I'm back. Um,
Yeah.
so it was a low probability since the beginning. Yep. Right now, this is still low probability at this point.
Yeah, because I mean, like, we got the 30-minute inducement of highs. Yes, prices still making higher highs and higher lows. The 1 minute is uptrending. The 5 minute gave us, yeah, it's just too much, man.
Yeah.
Like if the
And it's like what I was saying, like even with the engulfing candle, right? Like from the beginning of the day,
uh
right? Why was I saying that this is a low probability engulfing candle? Because we're still on an uptrend,
all right,
right? Outside of the fact that yes, we also were in a zone of consolidation and we don't have any breaks, right? This engulfing candle is low probability for it to work out in the sense that we're gonna go straight into take profit. Because I don't care about taking the trade and being in profit 20 pips, right? That's not a win for me, right? A win for me is catching the move for the day, right? I'm a day trader. I'm not a swing trader. I'm not a scalper. I'm not a um I'm not a Wix 9 trader who trades gold and is happy about catching 2 pips. You know, like
that nigga.
that's not me. That's not the type of trader I am, right? I use STP. STP is a save take profit for the day. I'm a day trader. I'm trying to catch the move for the day. I'm not trying to catch the move that's gonna happen in the 1 minute time frame. I'm not a scalper. I'm a day trader. So
1 minute entries maybe,
yeah,
but
we'll take the 1 minute entries, the 5 minute entries, absolutely. But when we're looking
of
at our take
course,
profit, I'm looking
oh
for
nigga,
the
we need
move.
that big boy.
I'm looking for the move of the day. Where
Oh,
is
for the
price gonna
day.
move for the entire day,
Yeah.
right? So with that being said, we already understood. Okay, this is a low probability trade overall for price to go into take profit, right? Or even for price to go down into this gap. because we're still making higher highs and higher lows. Let me know if that made sense.
Do you want me to post that DJ trade inside the chat or no?
Yeah, anytime you take a trade, post it in the chat. Of course. And it goes for everybody. If anybody
That
takes
should
a
be
trade,
beautiful.
again, whether it's a winning trade or a losing trade, post it in the chat. It helps everybody, especially the losing trades, right? Because people want to act like, oh, I lost, so I'm not going to post it. No, you lost for a reason. Let's post it in the chat. Let's talk about it. Because a loss isn't a loss. A loss is a learning lesson for everybody. A loss is only a loss if you continue to take the same losses over and over again and you don't understand why you lost. So, a winning trade is just as good as a losing trade. Post them all in the chat, please.
Uh,
Yes, brother, this helps for the overall understanding for all of us, exactly. But that's pretty much it for me today, team. Any
yeah, I think shit else
questions?
left.
Any other pairs you guys want me to talk about? Any other question you guys have? Anything you want me to explain? Anything you want me to go over? Let me know. Let me know. Let me know.
What's up with you? Ooh, ooh. Mm. And I found a vibe. Right. Yo, that's my song, bro. Yo.
I only listen to that song when it comes up, so I don't even know it like that. I don't even know the name the name of the song. But like this shit pops up in my when I have my shit on shuffle.
Mhm.
I just be vibing to it, like yes sir.
Bro, that nigga, he was a goat.
And it's always
I don't
that
care what
song
nobody
and
say.
then Yacht Club that goes right after that one.
Mine, man, I got my yeah. See that too, bro. I ain't gonna lie, he got collabs. I think he got a song with Lil Wayne too.
Yeah, he does.
He got a song with
Thank
Lil
you for all the
Wayne.
great pearls today. No problem, Adrian. No
Of
problem. That's
course.
what I'm here for.
That's what I'm here for.
That
My
girl is a
God.
real crowd pleaser.
Could be.
Quick release the cash, make it fall slowly, slowly.
JPY short. Uh, Caught this GJ short. Doing London. 3 days of rise.
And bro, we missed the trade on Bitcoin. Fuck, man.
Bitcoin. I haven't even been looking at fucking Bitcoin, bro.
Me neither. I saw it this morning though. I had a fucking 15-minute engulfing. I'm like, fuck it, I'm gonna take it. Should have taken it. I should have fucking taken it.
What? Going long, right?
Yeah. 7 a.m.
But the only thing is that the multiple days of rise.
Yeah, I don't even have this shit marked up, bro. I don't think I have Bitcoin marked up since December 19th.
God damn, monkey, man.
Probably.
Fuck. 6 a.m., yeah. Riding the waves, man. 3 days short. Going to London. 3 days of rise. 3 days of rise.
And then oil just keeps moving, bro. This is crazy
Yeah.
shit with oil. All right, team. Once again, I'll give you another 30 seconds in the chat. Any questions, let me know. We good? I know Adrian said he's good. Mr. Bashir, you good? Albert, you good? Jessica, if you're still in here, you good? Anything
Open up
else?
my notepad.
Any other pairs? Anything in specific that you guys want me to talk about before we leave? Let me know. If not, we'll be back again either tonight or tomorrow morning for the live trading session. Today's what, Tuesday? Wednesday?
Uh,
Wednesday.
Wednesday.
Quick release the cash, walk on
Entry
slowly.
criteria.
Alright, Albert, we'll see you later, my brother. Mr. Bashir, all good, bro? Alright, my brother. Alright, guys, we'll see you later. Peace out. Have a good rest of your day.